everyone, today's video is going to be so much fun. I'm going to be doing a Q&A, but not any Q&A because I'm actually going to be answering questions that I've never answered before and things that I might not choose to answer on a regular basis. So I asked you guys on my Instagram to send in some juicy questions or questions that I just may have avoided answering in the past. So I've got them all on my phone and I'm going to go through and answer some of these questions that you guys really want to know. So a lot of you guys have asked, how did I meet my boyfriend Brayden? And I don't know if I've answered this before, but in case I haven't, I thought I'd put it in this video for you guys. So pretty much Brayden and I met almost 3 years ago in January on Australia Day. So the first time that we met, which was on that day, we were at a party and I wasn't actually meant to go to this party. The only reason I went was because I was +1 by my friend. And I didn't know many people at this party because none of them went to my school, so I was just going around chatting to new people, making new friends. So I ended up chatting to a group at this party for ages, and Brayden actually was in that group of friends, and we were just standing there, and I remember Brayden and I had like really great conversation. Him and I were just talking to each other across the group for ages, and I just remember thinking at this party that he was a really nice guy. I remember thinking that he was good looking, and I don't know, I just really liked him. So I went home and added him on Facebook, as you do. I was very confident doing that. And then a couple of months went by and it was one of my friend's birthdays, and I was reading through the guest list and saw that he was going. So of course I thought to myself, oh, this guy's going, I better make sure I go and say hi at the party. And that's what I did. I went up to him at the party and was like, oh, do you remember me? And he's like, yeah. And then we went and danced together. And I remember him and I were just talking for ages, and yeah, the rest was history. Nobody ever ended up asking each other out. From that day, we just kind of knew that we were together, and yeah, that's our little story. I've seen you guys ask quite a lot, when am I planning on moving out? And at the moment, not anytime soon. I've tossed and turned with this over the past few years, but I've kind of come to the conclusion that it's just not worth it at this point, because I don't really want to rent somewhere. I want to buy somewhere, and obviously I can't afford to buy somewhere at the moment. Plus there's no point, like I don't need to move out with Brayden anytime soon because we're both welcome at each other's house. He's welcome to stay at my house, I'm welcome to stay at his house. So we're already pretty much staying with each other every night anyway. And also because I plan on traveling a lot more over the next few years, it also doesn't really make sense for me to move out, because then I'll be paying rent and stuff to live somewhere where I'm not even going to be. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. However, every few months I do go through a phase where I'm thinking like I really want to move out and have my own independence, and it would just be so fun to have my own place. Plus I would love to live somewhere like Bondi or Coogee, or just somewhere closer to the city, because where I live's not that close and it can be quite hard for work. So that would be ideal, but just not at this point. So Tiana asked, rudest YouTuber you have ever met? And I actually do have a story about a YouTuber who has been really rude to me in the past, and I've wanted to kind of like tell you guys about it, but at the same time I don't want to tell you because obviously I don't want to cause a drama, or I'm not that type of person to bring things up like this. At the same time, I do want to talk about it just so you don't think that everyone is the exact same as they are online, because people can put up a different front. So I think that's quite an important thing to know. So pretty much to summarize the story, I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't really want to give away the person. I was at an event last year and it was with a bunch of other YouTubers, and there was this one person there who I'd known for quite a while. I hadn't actually ever met in person, but we'd talked a lot online and we'd actually filmed a collab together, not in person, but way back when. And I met them and I went up to them and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know if you remember me, it's so nice to see you. And they're like, who are you? I was like, Ella. And they're like, oh, Ella Victoria. And they were like, oh, I saw you on Disney the other day. And I was like, what the heck? Well, actually they didn't say what the heck, they swore at me. And then they turned their back and carried on talking to their friend. And like, I just stood there like, what the heck just happened? Like, I used to talk to this person and I've known of them and they've known of me for quite a long time. So I was just kind of shocked. And I understand if they don't remember me, like, you know, people forget people all the time, but I thought there was nicer ways of approaching the situation. Anyways, that was a person that I didn't expect to be so rude, but really was quite rude to me. But I just want to say that this is one person who has been rude to me. Everybody else who I've met who does YouTube has been lovely. So it was just one bad experience. Brianna asked, are you a totally different person from what we see on TV and in your videos? When I'm filming for Disney, I do actually have a script, so I don't actually say my own words necessarily, but I get to change them sometimes to make it sound more like something that I would say naturally. But obviously for my YouTube, nothing's scripted. I just say literally what's off the top of my head. So that's why I love it. I really get to show my personality. I'd say if you met me in person, you'd say I'm the same. If you've ever met me in person, let me know in the comments if you think I'm the same in my videos or different in person. I'd say I'm the same, but I don't know. Audrey said, have you ever broken up with a person and then wanted to get back together with them after you broke up with them? So I've been in 2 relationships before the boyfriend that I've got now, and one of them was when I was like 14, 15, around then, and that was like a really short relationship, probably for about a month. And then the other one was when I was about 15 or 16, and that was for about 7 months. The first one wasn't very serious at all. I broke up with him because I don't know, at the time I just felt like I wasn't really ready for a boyfriend, and I don't think he was ready for a girlfriend either, and the relationship wasn't really getting anywhere. It was one of those like 12-year relationships where you just like talk to each other at school and then never hang out afterwards. And then the second guy that I went out with, he actually broke up with me, but we both felt like it was coming to an end because both of our lives had changed quite a lot. He had left school and was doing an apprenticeship, and I was still at school, so we were both in very like different stages of life, and he was changing and I was changing, and we just kind of weren't growing together in a sense. So we ended up breaking up. But your question was, have I ever wanted to get back with one of my ex-boyfriends after I broke up with them? And no, I haven't. I always knew that I wasn't going to be with them after we broke up. I do remember that the second breakup that I had was quite hard, just because we'd been together for quite a while at that age. So I remember we did end up kind of like rebounding one time and kissing, and then we just decided that no, we're not gonna be together. But yeah, I guess when those past relationships ended, it was sometimes hard to move on, but I knew that it was meant to be. Even though it might have felt hard at the time, I knew that it was the right thing to do. Chelsea asked, when did you first get your period? And I first got my period quite young. I was actually still in primary school in year 6. So I would have been about I would have been 10, I think. I was 10, and I remember feeling really quite young when I got it. I remember I actually had the day off school the first day I got my period, and my mum went and told my teacher, and my teacher was like, oh, go get a milkshake, just enjoy the day. Like it was some like big celebration, which is kind of weird, come to think of it. But yeah, I was about 10 and it was quite scary, but yeah. Abby asked, do you want kids with your boyfriend? And I thought I'd answer this question just because it's something that Braden and I talk about quite a bit. Well, I try to talk about it with him quite a bit. And honestly, whenever I talk to him about it, he gets a little bit terrified because he feels like I want them now when I'm talking about it. He doesn't feel like I'm talking about the future. So I find it kind of hard to talk about like future things with him because he gets scared by it, and he thinks that I mean like I want the kids like right now, like we're gonna start a family and everything. But no, I want to accomplish a lot of things before like I have children, but I am at the same time so excited for it. I love children and I just can't wait to have like mini versions of myself and Braden, just because I think when you like really like love someone and you really like them, then you can't wait to have many versions of them. Is that like so weird? I don't know. Oh god. I seem to be talking about my relationship quite a lot in this video, but you guys have been asking so many questions about Braden and just our relationship, and one of them that I keep seeing is how long have we been together, and we've been together for nearly 2.5 years. I've noticed a lot of you guys have asked for an embarrassing period story, and I can't really think of too many. One that I do remember was when I was at a all-girls school, so it wasn't too bad because I was with a bunch of girls, but we had a like light blue dress, and I remember my period leaked onto the light blue dress and it went all over it, and I didn't know until I got home, and oh, it was just not good. But that's probably the most embarrassing it's got for me. But let me know if you guys have any really embarrassing period stories, because I'd be interested to know. So they are all of the questions that I'm going to answer in this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching it and you got to know me a little bit better. If you have any other questions that you'd like me to answer, let me know in the comments and maybe I can do a part 2. But if you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I try to upload twice a week, and I'll see you guys in my next video.